So what we're going to be covering today, first and foremost, is an overview of Ethos. Who are we, and really, why does that matter? How does that impact you? How can you take advantage and utilize this platform? Then we'll go into the more nitty-gritty, a little bit more on the actual product options, the product details. Really, what makes Ethos unique is our application and access to products and how we get those products for clients. So we're going to spend some time there and go through our funnel and how to actually works A to Z. Next, we'll go into the actual agent portal overview. I'll share my screen here as I'm doing now, and we'll do a live demo of the agent portal that you all will have access to. It's where you run quotes, manage your business, have a CRM, get resources, start applications, everything all in one place. So we will go through that agent portal and the principal features on there. Make sure you have access to all the resources you need to be successful. So with that being said, we'll hop right in. Really, who is Ethos? Why are we here? Why does that matter to you? Ethos was founded in 2016. So I don't know if we're still considered a startup yet. I'm not sure what the threshold is when you officially become outside of that startup time period, but we were founded in 2016, really with the goal of purchasing a life insurance policy becoming a simpler process. Our founders had gone through that process and ended up with results that they didn't like and did not want other people experiencing. So really the goal is to make the process of purchasing a life insurance policy simpler, both for the consumer and for yourselves as the broker. So the traditional method of life insurance is working with a client, doing a form of needs analysis, determining really through your own work where that client is going to fit in, what carrier is going to be a good option for them, what's going to fit their needs, what product at that carrier is going to be the best option that not only matches what they're looking for, but they are going to get approved for. Then you'll run a quote for that product at that carrier. They'll start an application. You'll go through the application, submit the application. You may have to do a paramed, so get blood work, your analysis done. And then after all of that, the carrier can still come back and say, sorry, this is a decline. And then you have to start all over with that client, and you start with a new carrier or a new product. Ethos is different in the sense that we are working with 4 different carriers with 7 different product options, all from a single application, a single origin point, and we use an automated algorithmic underwriting system to determine where the client is going to fit within that range of products and carriers in real time during the application. So the goal is, as a client starts this application and they're going through the process, if they don't qualify for something in there, we don't want to submit that and then come back and say, sorry, you don't qualify, try again. We're going to nip that in the bud and in real time going to pivot into a product that the client is going to qualify for. So by the time they finish the application, we're able to make them an offer. At the end of the day, the goal is, regardless of who's applying, we have a product for just about everybody that comes through that application. That's really the end goal. And it's simple enough that the client can complete on their own. The more you help, the more involved you are, most likely the higher conversion ratios you're going to see. But really, this was built to be a direct-to-consumer product. So it's simple enough for the client to complete on their own, and you can be as hands-on or hands-off with this platform as you'd like. And what we're left with is a 10 to 12 minute fully digital application built to be simple enough for the client to complete on their own with no parameds ever and affordable pricing. So what that looks like on the client end is this journey here. I'll show you how to actually get clients into the application here soon. But right now, this is the client journey. We start with the digital acquisition, which is essentially you sending a link. This is a link to your own dedicated website that Ethos creates for you. That website is where clients can apply for themselves. And any client that goes through that website, that business automatically gets tracked back to you. So you'll send a link to a client, basically as you would if you had your own website. Hey, here's my website, go check it out. The client can apply through your website. They start the application, and once they start that application, they put in their basic information, name, phone number, email address, physical address, basic info, and check a box that gives their disclosure permission for us to start pulling data. As soon as they check that box and give us permission to start pulling data, we're off to the races. The client moves on and completes part B of the application, which is completing that health portion, and it's all reflexive questions. So if you filled out any paper apps, I don't know how common paper apps there are anymore, but you'll know that it includes every single health condition, everything that it could possibly be, and you kind of have to pick and choose what questions you answer and what matters to the client, what is NA and what's not. These are all reflexive questions. So questions will only be asked based on how the client has already answered the existing questions. So they won't get asked a bunch of stuff that really doesn't matter and could have been NA answers. So it's all reflexive questions. In the background, as they're doing this, we're pulling from over 300,000 data points. By the time they finish that health section of the application, we put all the information together. The information that they have given us through the health questions on the application and the information that we have pulled in the background. Your MIB check, motor vehicle report, prescription check, all of that. And we put it all together in real time. So by the time they get to that point in the application where they've completed those health questions and are moving forward, we're able to take all the data, put it together, and give them an offer right then and there, an instant decision policy. More times than not, they're going to get that instant decision, instant offer. The client can adjust their coverage from that point. Every once in a while, it does have to go into manual underwriting. Even when it comes to manual underwriting with us, there are never any parameds. It strictly means that we weren't able to gather all the information we needed from the data background poll, or it doesn't match up with how they answered the health questions. And we didn't need an actual human underwriter to take a look at that, make sure things match up, maybe get some additional evidence, but still never any parameds. Instead of being instant decision, it may be a 2 to 3 business day turnaround if it goes into that manual review, which is still much quicker than most traditional carrier options. Once the policy is offered, the client accepts that coverage. They have an active issued in-force policy, and they get their own client admin platform where they can log in, they can view their policy documents, they can look at their beneficiary information, change payment information, everything they need, all from that administrative portal directly for the client. So that's the journey that the client goes through. Now, this platform for you is completely free of charge. This is a partnership that we have. It's personal and customizable. I will show you how to do that. Instant quoting, instant issuance. It's a self-serve application journey, as I've said a couple times, built to be easy enough for the client to complete on their own. Real-time compensation tracking, so you can see, what's coming in, when it's coming in, and we do release compensation on a daily basis. So if you activate a policy or a client activates their policy on Monday, we release the commissions for that on Tuesday. Depending on your bank, some are great about having it right away and fronting that money. Some take a day or two to actually do the ACH transfer, but that commission is released the very next day. So you can really get into a rhythm here. Now we're going to go into more detail on really what that buy box looks like. What are the products that the clients are applying for?